Believe it or not, spring is right around the corner, and that means it's just about time for barbecue and beer. Before you host your first outdoor gathering of the season, we wanted to give you a few tips on how to store your beer properly, because there's a lot of misinformation out on the web, and we just wanted to set the record straight by answering 5 common beer storage related questions. No. In fact, beer goes through all sorts of temperature fluctuations during transport and storage, and as long as it doesn't freeze or get excessively hot, it'll be fine. Yes, sunlight can skunk beer. Now, it's probably not so much of an issue on a day like today, but if I were to leave these bottles out in direct sunlight for a while, what will happen is the UV light will actually start to react with the hops inside the beer and break down the acids, creating an odorous, rubbery taste, which is called skunked beer. It actually kind of smells like a skunk, which is what the name stands for. Yes and no. Putting beer in the freezer for a few minutes for a quick chill is fine, but just don't forget that it's in there. Leaving beer in the freezer and left to freeze can create bad flavors, and worst of all, it can explode. Yes, beer should be stored upright for a variety of reasons. First of all, yeast sediment naturally settles to the bottom of beers, especially bottle-conditioned ones, and you want that sediment to stay there until you pour the beer into a glass. Second, upright storage keeps less of the beer from being exposed to air, which should keep the beer fresher longer. Finally, storing the beer upright means the beer doesn't come in contact with the cap or the cork, and this is important because if the beer is in contact with the cap or cork, it can impart flavors from the glues on the cap or from the cork and affect the flavor of your beer. No. In fact, cans have a lot of advantages over bottles, and it's just that cans get a bad rap because they're associated with cheap beer. But the craft beer industry has really been reinvigorating the canned beer movement. In 2012, around 200 breweries canned beers. Now, today, 2 years later, that number is over 400. There's many reasons that cans are better than bottles. They seal out light much better, even better than brown bottles. They make beer come in less contact with air. They are much easier to transport. They fit way better in a fridge or a cooler, especially if you have a small fridge. And the art is awesome. So if you follow these tips, it'll keep your beer from getting stale, and it'll be perfectly fresh for the next time you have a barbecue. Cheers.